चैप्टर सेकेंड ऑफ RD एक्ट 2010 2009 में प्रोड्यूस किया गया था, इसको प्रेजेंट किया गया था और 2010 में ये इफ़ेक्टिव हुआ था। तो RD एक्ट 2009 कहा जाता है, 2010 से ये इनैक्टमेंट इसका होता है। तो उसका चैप्टर सेकेंड है राइट टू फ्री एंड कंपल्सरी एजुकेशन। सेक्शन 3 to 5, सेक्शन 3 से सेक्शन 5 तक इसकी चर्चा होती है। राइट ऑफ अ चाइल्ड टू फ्री एंड कंपल्सरी एजुकेशन। एवरी चाइल्ड, नॉर्मल और विद अ डिसएबिलिटी, disadvantages and weaker group of the age of 6 to 14 years shall have the right to free and compulsory education in a neighborhood school till the completion of his or her elementary education. Amendment 2012. For class 1 to 5 or school at every kilometer, for class 6 to 8 और स्कूल एट एवरी 3 किलोमीटर। मतलब ये कहने का मतलब है 1 to 5 के लिए स्कूल एट एवरी किलोमीटर, 1 किलोमीटर का दायरा रखा गया है 1 से 5 के लिए, और 6 to 8 के लिए 3 किलोमीटर। Provided that a child with a multiple disabilities may also have the right to opt for home-based education. Special provisions for children not admitted to or who have not completed elementary education. Where a child above 6 years of age has not been admitted in any school or though admitted could not complete his or her elementary education, then he or she shall be admitted in class appropriate to his or her age. ठीक है, बहुत अच्छी बात। Provided that where a child is directly admitted in a class appropriate to his or her age, then he or she shall, in order to be at par with others, have right to receive special training. Duration of special training is 3 months to 2 years। ये भी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, नॉट कलर्ड बट इम्पॉर्टेंट। ड्यूरेशन ऑफ स्पेशल ट्रेनिंग कितना है? 3 मंथ से लेकर 2 साल तक। प्रोवाइडेड फर्दर that a child so admitted to elementary education shall be entitled to free education till completion of elementary education even after 14 years. Now next is right of transfer to other school. वे इस बात को ध्यान रखना है कि KVS सैनिक स्कूल, नवोदय स्कूल जैसे स्कूलों में ये पूर्णतया लागू नहीं होता है RT, क्योंकि वो स्पेशलाइज स्कूल माने जाते हैं, स्पेशल पर्पस स्कूल माने जाते हैं। राइट ऑफ ट्रांसफ़र टू अदर स्कूल। वेयर इन अ स्कूल देयर इज़ नो प्रोविज़न फॉर completion of elementary education, a child shall have a right to seek transfer to any other school, excluding the school of a specific category and unaided schools. Where a child is required to move from one school to another, either within a state or outside, for any reason whatsoever, such child shall have a right to seek transfer for completing his or her elementary education. For seeking admission in such other school, the head teacher or in charge of the school where such child was last admitted shall immediately issue the transfer certificate, provided that delay in producing transfer certificate shall not be a ground for either delaying or denying admission in such other school. Provided further that the head teacher or in charge of the school delaying issuance of
transfer certificate shall be liable for disciplinary action under the service rules applicable to him or her. Chapter 3. Duties of appropriate government, local authority and parent. इसकी चर्चा सेक्शन 6 से लेकर सेक्शन 11 तक की गई है. सेक्शन 6 to सेक्शन 11. Duty of appropriate government and local authority to establish school. The appropriate government and local authorities shall establish within prescribed area or limits of neighborhood a school where it is not so established within a period of 3 years from the commencement of this act. For class 1 to 5, school at every kilometer. For class 6 to 8, school at every 3 kilometer. Sharing of financial and other responsibilities. The central government and the state governments shall have concurrent responsibility for providing funds for carrying out the provisions of this act. The central government shall prepare the estimates of capital and recurring expenditure for the implementation of the provisions of the act. The central government shall provide to the state government as grants in aid of revenues in consultation with the state governments. The central government may make a request to the president to make a reference to the finance commission to examine the need for additional resources to be provided to any state government so that the states the said so that the said state government may provide its share of funds for carrying out the provisions of the act. The central government shall develop a framework of national curriculum with the help of academic authority specified under section 29 academic authority NCERT. Develop and enforce standards for training of teachers इसकी authority NCTE. डेवलप अ फ्रेमवर्क फॉर नेशनल करिकुलम इसकी अथॉरिटी एकेडमिक अथॉरिटी कौन NCERT है, जिसकी चर्चा सेक्शन 29 में की गई. Provide technical support and resource to the state government for promoting innovations, researches, planning and capacity building. Now, duties of appropriate government. The appropriate government shall provide free and compulsory elementary education to every child, provided that where a child is admitted by his or her parents or guardian in a school other than a government aided school, then parents shall not entitle to claim reimbursement of the expenditure incurred on elementary education of the child in such other school. इसका एक्सप्लेनेशन ध्यान देंगे. The term compulsory education means obligation of the appropriate government to provide the free elementary educations to every child of the age of 6 to 14 years and ensure compulsory admission, attendance and completion of elementary education by every child of the age of 6 to 14 years. Ensure availability of a neighborhood school. Ensure that the child belonging to weaker section and the child belonging to disadvantaged group are not discriminated against and prevented from pursuing and completing elementary education on any grounds. Provide infrastructure including school building, teaching staff and learning equipment. Provide special training facility specified in section 4. Ensure and monitor admission, attendance, and completion of elementary education by every child. Ensure good quality elementary education conforming to the standards and norms specified in the schedule. Ensure timely prescribing of a curriculum and courses of study for elementary education and provide training facility for teachers. Duties of a local authority. Every local authority shall provide free and compulsory elementary education to every child, provided that where a child is admitted by his or her parents or guardians in a school other than government aided school, then parents shall not entitled to claim reimbursement of the expenditure incurred on elementary education of the child in such other school. Ensure availability of a neighborhood school as specified in section 6. Ensure that the child belonging to weaker section and the child belonging to disadvantaged group are not discriminated against and prevented from pursuing and completing elementary education on any grounds. Ensure admissions of a children of a migrant families. Monitor functioning of school within its jurisdiction and decide the academic calendar. Duties Duty of a parents and guardians. It shall be the duty of every parent or guardian to admit his or her child or ward to an elementary education in the neighborhood school. 11th point, appropriate government to provide for free for preschool education with view to prepare children above the age of 3 years for elementary education and to provide every childhood care and education for all children until they complete the age of 6 years. The appropriate government may make necessary arrangement for providing free preschool education for such children. So, part chapter 3 over. Now we will focus on chapter 4, responsibilities of school and teachers, in the next video.